All right, welcome to episode 1 of Alex Rogers' YouTube channel, where we're going to just go over some mindset lessons, some stories, and just overall update, get you to know me a little bit more, how I think, how I view things, how I speak, and just how I coach in general, whether that's telling stories, giving examples, giving breakdowns of certain things. So I got this concept, this idea from Taylor Kavanaugh. Awesome dude, phenomenal dude. Just spent some time with him out in Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me about how important it is to have a YouTube channel and just talking into the camera to let people know what kind of man you are, where you stand, how you posture yourself, and another way to build power and authority with your audience so people can kind of see what they're getting if they want to work with you. Because again, I do coaching, whether that's mindset, performance. I also do some fitness stuff as well, and just overall, just mindset in general. And I'm looking to work with high performers, entrepreneurs, athletes, and people looking to elevate themselves. Okay, so I'll work with a lot of people. My coaching lessons are good for everybody, but that doesn't mean I'll work with anybody. Okay, I'm very selective about who I work with. I want to make sure I'm working with people who are dedicated, committed, disciplined, and motivated in all areas of their life. Okay, people who might be like, I don't know if I necessarily need a coach, but I want to work with one so I can elevate myself. Okay, that's who I'm trying to work with. All right, so enough of that. This is episode 1, of course. So I just want to give a kind of an idea of what I am, what I do, and all of that. So again, Alex Rogers, I'm 34 years old. I spent 12 years as an active duty Navy SEAL, doing time, SEAL Team 3 in Coronado. And then I was an instructor for about 2.5 years before I got out in Virginia Beach, where I taught assaults, land warfare, and I did some time at ops. I did 3 real deployments, which when I say that, 6+ months overseas. And then I did a couple augments here and there. And then I did a 2-month deployment to Germany before I got out. What gives me some ground to stand on when it comes to coaching is I have an undergrad in organizational leadership. I have a master's degree in strategic leadership. Again, I was a Navy SEAL, so I have experience leading high performance teams, very high stress situations, scenarios, very high tempo. I was in leadership positions. I was in charge of millions of dollars and highly sensitive equipment and information when my time in. I've taught hundreds of people how to do many different things. I've been all over the world. I've been married, been divorced, 2 kids. I'm now a professional jiu-jitsu athlete when I'm not doing coaching. I started a podcast. I do this and a couple other things as well. I don't want to tell you how awesome I am, because you're going to learn that over the next few videos for sure. All right. I don't just make bullshit up. This is real life, lived experience, things that I've either seen, done, or learned. Not just plugging stuff into Google or ChatGPT and spitting out a bunch of nonsense. All right, anything I tell you is real and it's from me. All right, so enough of that. What I really want to talk about is what we just finished up. We just did an hour-long webinar on mindset, going over the 4 pillars, which is goal setting, visualization, self-talk, and arousal control. I'm giving a breakdown of what each of those things are. Went over some tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs as we call it in the military, whether that's some breath work, some visualization skills, some other exercises, and then some frameworks as well as tasks that you can use and implement into your day-to-day life, with literally day-to-day, week by week, and then long-term stuff as well. And then just different, again, ways to do that. And then I gave some stories for examples, so I can give you, something to reference, something to think about. I'm not just going to tell you war stories or training stories from buds and all of this and that. There's a ton of other people out there who can do that. If you need that itch scratched, by all means do it. There's some phenomenal stuff out there. I absolutely love hearing it. It's just not what I'm about right now. I'm trying to coach people. I'm trying to pull people in, work with them, so we can elevate and grow to the next level, because it helps me just as much as it helps you. Guarantee you that. But yeah, we just wrapped up this hour-long seminar. It was really good. Had 15 people on there. Had some really good questions and Q&As at the end. And then, putting out what I got going on with Alex Rogers Coaching, which is this YouTube channel, of course. Then my website, which is alexrogerscoaching.com. And then I'm on Instagram as just @Alex Rogers Coaching. And then on LinkedIn, again, Alex Rogers. And I talk about all this different stuff on there. My podcast is called From Chaos to Command, and that's basically taking people, hearing their stories, which I love doing. I love telling stories, love hearing stories, and just taking lessons learned from those. But From Chaos to Command is a lot to do with my coaching philosophy and how I do that as well. It's taking someone who's kind of mixed up on the inside, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, whatever the case may be. You might not see it from the outside, but internally you're like, my life is a mess. I got chaos inside. There's tornadoes going on inside my mind and my heart. And then what do you do to get out of that? What techniques, tactics, procedures did you use? What did you start doing? What did you stop doing? Did you change your circle? What did you do? So that's what my coaching focuses on, stuff like that, to get you out of that funk and get you to new elevations, and just start changing your mindset, changing your attitude, and just start seeing those wins just roll in. Okay. And the podcast is very similar to that. It's people telling their stories around 60 minutes or less, just telling a time when they were struggling with something that was really tough and challenging for them, what they did or stopped doing to get out of that, and how they built a better life for themselves and their families and their friends and their community or their environment, whatever that is, whether that's a business, whether that's a sport, a relationship, doesn't matter. Everybody's chaos is their chaos, and nobody's chaos is worse or less worse than someone else's. It's real to every single person, and it's important that we share those things and realize that we're all humans, we're all connected, and we've all got shared similar experiences and shared similar emotions and feelings. These are all real to everybody. And I want to put that out there to give you, the viewer or the client, some new frameworks, some ideas, some things that you can use to get yourself out of that chaotic state and back into command, so that you can, again, grow, flourish, live, thrive. This will create benefits and well-being for yourself first and foremost, your family, whether that's your partner, your kids, whatever, and then your community. Right? When you go outside and you walk around, or when you go into the grocery store, or you walk into work, or you go to the gym,